Hi, hello. Welcome, everyone, to Five Star Conversations in the Sun City. I'm your host, Michelle M. Trey Hollis, and excited to introduce you to Miss Laurie Marshall. She is an author, innovator, artist, and peace builder through art. She's the kind of guest who helps us remember that healing does not only happen in hospitals, therapy rooms, or formal institutions. Sometimes healing begins with a paintbrush, a mural, a story, a circle of people, and a shared vision of what community can become. For over 40 years, Laurie has empowered youth, adults, elders, schools, families, businesses, governments, and institutions, all through creative collaboration. As the founder of Unity Through Creativity Foundation and the Singing Tree Mural Project, her work shows us that art is not just decoration. It is a tool for peace building, emotional safety, leadership development, and collective transformation. This conversation fits beautifully within the Five Star Conversations mission of connecting leading edge health and wellness voices with the everyday Borderlanders, just like me and you, especially because Laurie's work lives at the intersection of creativity, mental wellness, education, leadership, and community care. So, Five Star Conversations here, we really do care about the people who care for our community and our loved ones. And we're always looking for great ways to bring more of that forth. So, please, everybody, help me welcome Miss Laurie Marshall. Hi.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here and to support that beautiful intersection of qualities that you showed, because that holistic approach is really what we need in this very fractured time. Yeah,
I'm gonna let that sink in. Let that take root because that is so true. That is so true. And I think that I would love to start after. Wait, hold on. Let me see. There's so much I want to talk to you about already, but I would love for you to share with us who is Laurie Marshall and how did you get here? Maybe you want to take us through your time in education and pull us through today. However you want to take that journey.
okay. So I would like to begin the journey when I was 9 years old, and my family, who my mother and father converted from Judaism and Lutheranism to Quakerism in the 1950s. And
Wait, hold on. What? Wow. Okay. I'm like, oh, let me just stop you there because wow.
so that's my incredible heritage. And
Judaism to Quakerism.
yeah, and Lutheranism.
And
So
Luther. So together, Quakerism and Lutheranism, are they close?
no,
They're not Lutheranism and Quaker. See, I'm not familiar with those. I'm
yeah.
familiar with Judaism, but
I mean they Lutheran and Quaker both have Christian roots, and Lutherans also are very very dedicated to peace. And
oh,
the Quakers sent Martin Luther King to South Africa to study with Gandhi or maybe it was to India. I'm not sure.
the Martin Luther the King,
The
the Dr. Martin Luther the King,
Dr. Martin Luther King
the
Jr.
Luther Junior. Okay, the
I,
one.
I saw him speak when I was 9 years old in 1958 at a Quaker conference in Cape May, New Jersey.
Get out of town. Now, was Martin Luther King a Quaker?
No,
Okay, so see, okay, I'm so glad, and I didn't mean to cut you off with your,
no,
right there,
yeah,
but I love that you're saying because I didn't know any of this, and that's important to understand because I don't think that, and I want to hear your story. I want us to like really set in what you're about to say because you met him in your Quaker community.
yeah.
That just goes to show how important that it is that we all work together. I just want to really
Yeah.
emphasize that because it's not people working in silos. It's
No.
people that want to do good working together. Okay, so please continue. Yes, thank you.
So I was a little kid, and all I could see was the big people's bellies and buckles and dresses. But I heard this voice fill the space with electricity and love and power like I had never experienced before. And he said, people of all colors can love each other like sisters and brothers. And that vision and understanding entered all the cells of my body. And they shaped me. My parents gave me that space and that experience. And my family was involved in the civil rights movement in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and
Okay.
Mississippi to help people register to vote, and was shot at. So my journey really begins with a vision that the Quakers have, which is that there is that of God in everyone. It's a very simple religion. There's no minister.
That of God in everyone. Okay. Oh, there's no ministers?
No ministers.
Oh, no hierarchy at all, or really?
Yeah. There
Are they still there? The Quakers? Are you still a Quaker?
Yeah, I belong to the El Paso Quakers.
Get out of town. Okay.
Yeah. So the Quakers were very active in the Underground Railroad in this country.
Is that right?
And they were very active in conscientious objection when people did not believe in killing as a way to solve problems and did not want to fight in the army. And Quakers don't have dogma. They have that one idea that there is that of God in all of us, in fact, in everything of this universe. And so our practice is to worship in silence and to spend time with that of God inside of us. Some Quakers are Christians. Some
I love that. I gotta give a clap to that, because that's great.
Yeah. So with Creator being inside of us, we all are creative.
Yes.
When we become one with the Creator, that here we are, we exist. There is love and life in this universe. It is a freaking miracle. I began Unity Through Creativity when a little girl in Virginia said to me, after I'd made a painting with all of the students in her school, I wish the whole world could see our painting and then the whole world would be happy. And then she said, what if the whole world made a painting together? And bingo, the vision of the beloved community that Martin Luther King had painted, where everyone is included, everyone's gifts are nourished, gifts are valued, gave me a picture of, wow, what a great impossible idea. And that was in 1999.
This is when the young girl first said, what if the whole world painted a picture together?
Exactly.
Okay, I love that. Okay.
So
and this was in 99.
99. I had no idea how to do that, but I said, that's my job. And
yeah.
Somebody gave me a book called The Singing Tree. And The Singing Tree was written by Kate Sarady, whose daddy was a soldier in World War I. And one night, his battalion, who were Hungarian, crawled on their bellies all night long to escape the Russians. And everything had been destroyed by war. There was no living being and no building standing. And the soldiers became more and more terrified as they crawled on their bellies in the mud. And when the dawn came, they looked up on a hill, and there was one tree who had survived. It was an apple tree. And birds who aren't normally together were there in that tree. They came for hundreds of miles because there was no other tree. And they sang a song that had never been heard before. And the idea came to me that the Earth is the singing tree of our galaxy.
That sounds lovely. That's real. That's deep. Why can't we get that? It's just something. I mean, I know it could be a lot. We could go down a long, deep, dark rabbit hole, but I just wonder. I do wonder what is so hard to want to come together and celebrate that rather than tear each other apart. It's very interesting.
It is. Yeah.
Confusing.
So the work that we do is to focus on what happens when people make a shared vision of success, and we use trees and forests as our model.
The structure of the ecosystem and everything.
The ecosystem, right? Because as Martin Luther King said, all life is interrelated.
And it is.
And the trees, they support 300 life forms, the average tree. They clean water. They give us oxygen. They give us millions of fruits and nuts and seeds. They are a container and a model of mutualism. And the forests, they send nutrients to places in the forest that aren't getting enough. And the birch trees give sugar to the pine trees in the summer, and the pine trees give sugar to the birch trees in the winter. So we're surrounded by this incredible mutualism. And yes, what's coming?
No, I'm just like, I love that. And then it's so sad. It's sad, but it's important to note because I think, and then we humans are just ruining it right now. And I hate that that's the thought, but that is, people today, I just feel like, people feel like, you know what? I think more people are waking up and opening up to the understanding.
Yes.
To the understanding of our connectedness, and that this is a spiritual experience. I think it's very hard to ignore now than it's ever has been before, which is a beautiful thing. And at the same time, I would love people to realize how much power that we all generate and have the potential to generate individually. As you were saying, the Quakers saying you connect with that your sovereign experience and higher power. And what can come of that is just, there's so much, and there's no definition because it's to be created by each and every person.
Right. And our project of the Singing Tree Project, which began officially in 2001 with our foundation, Unity Through Creativity. That's the opposite of unity through lies, manipulation, violence, threat, war. It's the fact that if we connect to our Creator with each other, we're unstoppable.
We really are.
So we've made 155 murals with over 27,000 people from 64 countries. There are
100 and how many murals?
55.
You have made 155 murals across the globe.
Yeah.
Where can you just, not all of them, obviously, but I mean, give us an idea of the cultures that you've been able to.
Yes. So I personally have taught other people how to do this. And
that's great.
I'm teaching more people how to do this, and I want to share that program that we're offering to teach people. So Gujarat, India, in an orphanage, Changwali refugee camp in northern Uganda, Peru, Urubamba with children and schools. Cyprus, we've done 2 murals in Cyprus that are both on the border, the UN buffer zone wall that separates Cyprus and from the north and the south. Sarajevo.
Wow.
We did one in Sarajevo in 2014, which was the 100th anniversary of World War I, in the place where World War I began.
Oh, wow. How beautiful. Wow.
Those
in 2014, the city of Sarajevo connected.
Always ready. Technology.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? Let's deep dive here. You know what I should do? Now I'm thinking I should do an element of that in my some certain times when there's certain words that we should do a little breakdown. That was just a creative thought that came out.
That's fun. Cool.
Yeah. Because I mean, and this would be a great time because a lot of the places that you're talking about, I'd never heard of before, to be honest. But
Yeah.
and I think that's beautiful because we forget how big this world is, honestly.
Yeah.
And we think of whatever, especially here in America, unfortunately, a lot of times we think about, and what's put in our face is just everything that's happening that's not so great in the places that there's always a lot happening that's not so great between us. And it's just like, why are they feeding us so much of that?
Right. So I want to share a fundamental idea of
Okay.
the Singing Tree Project that came from Sherry Mitchell, who is an extraordinary Penobscot indigenous lawyer in Maine who wrote a book.
Penobscot.
That's her nation.
Okay, Penobscot.
And she's has written a book called Sacred Instructions. And I'm a professor, an adjunct professor at University of Texas at El Paso, and I teach women in fine arts and peace building through humanities. And I use Sherry Mitchell's book in my classes. So this is
great.
She said, if we hope to create a new reality, we have to shift our emotional energy away from the reality being presented and focus on the reality that we wish to create.
I agree.
Yeah, and that is
wholeheartedly
in the Singing Tree Project. We are always focusing on what is a heartbreak in your community that you want to heal. What is a challenge that you want to have innovative solutions to? And then we have a lead design team, which can be as small as 3 and as big as 64 fourth graders in San Francisco. And everybody makes an image of the tree on the earth and space that incorporates their vision of healing this heartbreak or this challenge. And then the facilitators take all those beautiful ideas and pour them together in a master design.
And this is a collaborative effort, though. But there is an architect to make sure that it comes together correctly. Okay, that's great to know.
Yeah, so it's not like a mural where the people just tell the artist what to do, and sometimes people say, "Oh, yeah, we want these different elements in the mural," and they go do it.
Right.
In this process, we ask for everyone to be an artist. It doesn't matter what kind of experience you have, because just like you have unique thumbprint, unique iris, unique DNA in your hair, you have unique images that creator sends to you. It doesn't matter if you're practiced in getting them out. We can get them out. But the ideas and the images are there to heal us. And we empower people to understand how incredibly resourceful they can be with their own imagery and imagination.
And a lot of times, I mean, I'd say most of us are sadly not tapped into that.
No. And it's there for free.
But we need it.
Yeah.
And it's there for free.
So behind me is the Singing Tree of Embracing Our Unknown that was created when I did my first training of Singing Tree facilitators during COVID. So COVID taught me how to make singing trees online. And there were 13 women, including women from Somalia, India, England, and the US. And you can see there are these little squares here.
Okay, yes.
Those are their designs.
Okay.
I took their designs and I created this image. And then they made birds, which were their prayers and dreams for embracing our unknown. And they made leaves, which were the work that they do, embracing their unknown. So often we have leaves that are the work, because leaves take the sun and turn it to sugar. They lose their bodies and give it to make richer soil. And birds that fly into the sky, they're messengers of our hopes and dreams. So in the Singing Tree process, a lead design team shapes the mural, paints the background, and then invites the community to imagine success and healing to the subject that they're addressing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's no limit to the subjects also.
You said, I'm sorry, say that again.
There's no limit to the subjects.
Okay, so if so everyone can, I guess technically everyone can have a different issue that they're bringing to the tree, to the conversation.
Usually the tree has a theme, and we invite people to do that. But in the 155 murals that we've made, we've addressed autism, we've addressed homelessness, we've addressed poverty, we've addressed exclusion and violence. So it's endless, right? It's an endless possibility. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, so what have you noticed, maybe in an example or two, or maybe just as a whole, in general, what have you noticed happens when the different communities that you've worked with, either directly or indirectly, what happens to these communities or these organizations, or, the people that are in the direct community that are working with one particular singing tree mural, what can they expect to happen, as far as once they bring that issue to the fore?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What I've observed is there is an accelerated bond between people. I've worked with kids in rival gangs who had shot family members. So the Crips and the Norteños and the Sureños. And they were furious at each other. And when they created art together, they saw the humanity and inner beauty of this person that had been their enemy. And it totally shifted.
Wow. How old were they?
These were teenagers.
Really? Wow. So was this because I know you've worked in different spaces. Where were you working in this one?
This was in Santa Rosa, California.
Okay, in Santa Rosa. Was it in a school system or juvenile?
It was an alternative school for kids who had been incarcerated or had some brush with the law.
Oh, that's wonderful. So basically, how does actually we have a couple questions from LinkedIn. So I want to give you a chance to answer them. So Noah Rattler, hi Noah, thank you for being here. He's asking, is the art the work?
Yes, the art is the work. So we all lay hands together on a piece of board or a piece of canvas like behind me, and we create something. We paint, we glue, we draw with colored pencils. The leaves and birds are drawn in colored pencil, and it is the work of letting Creator give you your unique images and giving it to yourself and to the world. When you give it to yourself, you heal yourself because your worry brain gets relaxed when you have the power of making a decision and taking action, which is what you do when you make a brushstroke or make a mark. And that
it is an action. Yes.
Yeah. It uses this part of the brain, not the reptile brain that is so worried about survival. Thank you.
That's a great question. He actually has another question, which I think leads into kind of my question too, which he's asking I think it means our projects attached to the work, but
so each singing tree mural is around a theme, and the mural is the starting place. And this answers your question more fully, Michelle. When the mural is completed, we ask, what next? What innovative steps can we do next? For instance, high school kids in Ukiah, California, they made the singing tree of climate solutions. And all of these murals are visible with videos on our website, unitythroughcreativity.org.
Okay.
After they did this research on what are the top 10 things that can draw down carbon dioxide, their senior projects, they went to the school board and they said, we would like to have solar panels on our parking lot. What is involved with that? How can we help do it? And they got solar panels on their parking lot. So we want to envision the world we want and then spark innovative concrete actions. That's the idea.
And okay, so another question that brings up, and thank you so much, Noah. And anybody else that has any questions, feel free to drop them into the chat. We would love to hear them and have a conversation. So something came up for me as you're saying you work with facilitators that create the murals. Are all the murals worked on locally? In terms of wherever not locally here in El Paso, but wherever the facilitator is, that's where they're going to work on it. So I guess my question is, are most of them also stationed or mounted? I'm not an art person. I don't even know how to say it. Are most of them displayed locally? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
Most of them are displayed locally.
Okay. So the main group of people are people that typically work in close community, because nowadays community goes so far, there's a lot of people that have online communities. So I just wondered are these more effective in a local regional community of people working on it?
Local to start with. The one behind me was not local.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Somalia, England.
Right.
Yeah. And when I'm doing the trainings, and my next training is July 24th through the 26th, it's hybrid and online. So there will be people from California and Idaho studying, as well as people here in El Paso.
So it's they could go to creativity or Unity through creativity.com or .org or
.org. Yeah, we're
.org. Okay.
Yep, and you can look up certification, and there'll be some information there. I'm wondering if we could show a short video.
Oh yeah, let's try. Did you email it to me?
I put it in the chat.
Oh, put it in the chat. Okay, let me see if I can. Oh, okay, I see it.
Let's see if it'll work.
Yeah, let's see if it'll work.
I'll give people more of an idea of the breadth of images that come up.
Absolutely. Which one do you want me to start with? The first or the second? The top one? Okay. Yeah, I should be able to play that. Hold on real quick.
And the sound
is here. Okay. You know what? We're gonna give it a whirl.
Yeah. So this first one is 2 years, 2016 to 2018 of murals.
Let me know if you can hear it. Hold on. Let me see what's.
I can't hear it yet.
Okay, no, I haven't pressed play yet. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I'm just trying to give it the maximal look there. Can you hear it?
Uh-huh. Maybe if you take away the Unity through creativity.org.
Yeah, let me see here. Oh.
Her in the wheelchair on the bottom. They lost friends and fires and homes in the fire.
Oh, that's pretty.
This one is on the San Francisco Zoo's primate hut. Sometimes we needed to make a bird because what the kid Nature doesn't like monochrome. No confusion is needed. One planet living community. We live with one planet. People move in the direction of the images in the
Beautiful.
So that gives you just a it's hard to visualize it. It takes, yeah.
It really is, yeah. But that several of those, you know, the conversations, I really love, of course, the Jane Goodall one. That was really pretty. I love how they created that. So basically, you teach the facilitator at those different locations. You taught them how to administer the process.
Yeah, it's a technology of teaching leadership, the neurobiology of collaboration, conflict resolution, and supporting people's creative self-confidence. And one of the biggest impacts that we've seen is people's creative self-confidence, which applies to leadership. And we've worked with Casa Auto Group here in El Paso. We worked with 440 employees from 8 locations, making the Casa singing tree of trust, love, and community.
Wow.
And it allowed people whose hands are dirty and hands are clean, who walk by each other, who never have any understanding of each other, to feel a much deeper bond. And storytelling is part of what we also make space for, because when people make their imagery, they tell the story of it. And often that is the greatest bonding moment, is when people hear each other's stories about what came out their hand. Because beautiful things comes out our hands. We've been drawing for 70,000 years. We've been writing for 5,000 years. Our school system says only a few people can draw, but everybody can write. It's a big myth.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I could, that makes sense that that's a myth is what I mean.
Yeah.
Because if you can write, well, you know, unless like me, I can't even write hardly. I mean, I know what I'm writing. I know what I'm writing, but it's not very pretty most of the time. But and that's a good question. So, is this still beneficial for people that typically aren't artists? You know, what are they going to get to experience?
Right. So I'd like to play a little bit of another video. This is a video about what people have gotten out of the facilitator training. And one of the first people is somebody who didn't draw ever. What you get out of the facilitator training is the ability to make a safe container where people are free to express their individuality and to create something bigger together than we could ever do alone.
Yes.
Yeah. So we use restorative practices of the circle process that Indigenous people have used for hundreds of thousands of years to make sure that everybody's voice is heard. It's democracy. It's freaking.
I'm sorry, hold on real quick. Sorry, I missed it. I was trying to get the Noah person. He says, I'm traveling a similar path and would like to connect with her. So he's on LinkedIn. Yes. So I do not know Noah. So Noah, if you're still watching, which I think you are, and I'm going to put this in LinkedIn too, please DM me, follow me, and then that way I can send this over to, okay, here you are. Let me see. I'm putting a comment in. Are you on LinkedIn? Lori?
I am indeed.
You are? Okay, linked. So then what you want to do also then is this a teachable moment is to go to, because have you ever done a LinkedIn Live or this is your first time or have you done these before?
I have not done a LinkedIn Live. No.
Oh, great. Well, you're on LinkedIn Live. So so we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook Live simultaneously right now.
That is very cool.
So, so make sure I'll, you know what? Let me find you on LinkedIn actually while I'm thinking about it.
So this is a wonderful teachable moment. And
yes,
I would love to know where you are located because we're in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see. Wait, why am I didn't mean to put. Wait, no, I'm looking for you. Okay, second. Let me see. Okay, I hit connect. Okay, I guess I just didn't search you up over here for whatever reason, but okay. And okay, so I looked you up, so I'll connect you and then I'll tag you in. I think I can still tag you in the LinkedIn. Okay, everyone, this was that was just a little teachable side note. I think everyone watching this could use to learn how to be on LinkedIn, first of all. And this is why LinkedIn is the place where I have met the most people that are like really about business, you know, and about creating things. And so Noah, looks like Noah is in Greater Houston.
Oh, cool.
Fantastic. So, there it goes. Yeah, he said it right here. He already following. Oh, okay. We're already connected.
Awesome.
Okay, great. See, so that's this is just the power of social media, folks. That's really real right here. Okay. And so, wow, there's just so much to unfold and so much to unpack. I would love to ask you, let's get the five-star fire round. I don't know. I haven't figured out what to call this yet.
Okay, then. Michelle, how much more time do we have?
We have at least another 20 minutes or so.
Awesome. Great.
Yes. And so let me see here. So yes, let's get these. This is the 5-star fire round. This is basically, you can answer these as quickly or as lengthy as you want to ask them. But these are 5 questions. And what we're going to learn now about you, Laurie, through these 5 questions is the who, what, when, where, and why. So that's the 5-star. So we're going to start with number 1. Who are the people you feel most called to serve through your work?
Right now, I want to train people to do this work. So I feel most called to serve my beloveds who want to make change, who want to use democratic processes, who want to train others in leadership, who they can be already artists, art educators, art teachers, artists that want to use the tool of art to bring people together and not just to explore their own soul's work, which is a perfect thing to do. I'm looking I'd like to train 500 facilitators in the next 5 years before I turn 80. So
okay.
That is my goal. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so 500 facilitators.
All around the world.
All around the world. So if you are a facilitator, you are just who Laurie wants to hear. And if you know other people, other facilitators, teaching the teachers, like Noah said, that's what you're working on. And I'm glad that he brought that up, actually. And this also goes to the who. This is back to the who are you. So we're still in who. Really quick, can you explain your educational, your teaching history? I think that is actually important.
Yeah. So I wanted to be a teacher when I was 8. When I wrote plays for little kids to play in. And I got certified to teach American history and education from Antioch College, which is a John Dewey-based college where you work 3 months and study 3 months, and you work 6 months and study 6 months. Applied academics. That's what I love.
I love that. Yeah.
And then I got my master's degree from Beacon College, which is now the Union Institute, where I designed a program for myself in community art in 1980, and there was no such thing at that time. And I made art with mentally handicapped people, with elders, with kids who had been incarcerated in New York City. I just made art with as many different people as I could. And I went to the Art Students League in New York City and studied art. I studied with mentors in my rural community where I raised my babies outside of DC. I lived in the community for 27 years, and I was part of the public school system in those 27 years as artist in residence, as a gifted and talented teacher, as an art teacher.
You were a gifted and talented teacher?
That's what the first thing I did in my my artistic career, in my teaching career.
Ooh, quick question, because I'm a conspiracy theorist. Was that the GATE program? Was that the GATE program that they all talk about? And is it connected to MK Ultra?
Connected to what?
MK Ultra.
I don't know anything about MK Ultra.
Okay, but what about the GATE? The gifted and talented? Was the government or whoever was running that, were they specifically seeking out psychic type children?
No.
Okay, because that's the word on the street. On the TikTok social media streets.
Yeah. So I was influenced by Joseph Renzulli from the University of Connecticut, who said that all kids are gifted. And the way to run a gifted program was to have an offering where children could make a real product for a real audience that came out of a real interest. And I added had a real impact. The idea was the government funded 3% of the school population, because that was their story.
Right.
And so he would make, slots available for 3% of the school to make a real product that came out of a real interest for a real audience.
Yeah.
I did my whole educational career was to help kids make real products for real audiences. And I love making the vision and voice of kids big, loud, and beautiful. And that's why I love murals. I also got trained in the Waldorf curriculum. And the Waldorf curriculum is a 115-year-old arts integrated curriculum.
Oh, I saw that.
It was founded by Rudolf Steiner. Most people have heard of Maria Montessori, especially in El Paso, but they have not heard of Rudolf Steiner. Maria Montessori and Rudolf Steiner both lived through World War I. And both came out asking, how do we educate children so that they are peace builders, not killers? And Rudolf Steiner varied from Maria Montessori, who focused a lot on independent play with materials, which is fabulous. Rudolf Steiner asked the question, what story does this child need in order for their soul to take its next step of development? And that's a great question. That's what our nation needs right now. And the story that we need right now is liberty and justice for all. That's the story. It's still here. It's still unfolding. And
it's like, dang, we should be so way past that story by now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, imagine. I mean, and it is worth imagining. It is worth imagining, because it's just like, imagine what we could be doing if we weren't having to protect ourselves all the time. Because that's what, I think my instinct actually right there was to first start saying, if we weren't fighting each other all the time, but today I'm like, but I'm not fighting other people all the time. So who's we? You know what I mean? Who's we? And I think that is an important question to start asking ourselves, is who is fighting? Like, we don't need to take that identity on.
No.
Because just like you were saying in the beginning with, I think, was it the Quakers or wait, who said it first? Who was saying it? They were saying to focus on the God in everything and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, we have to, so that's why my instinct was to say, if we weren't fighting each other all the time, I'm like, that's not my natural instinct. My natural instinct is to be curious and to enjoy, and to appreciate a different energy than mine, like that's and a different culture and a different way of being and a different perspective, like my instinct is not to fight that.
Yeah, it's to be enriched by it.
Is to be enriched by it. And so we have to then say, well, then what's the problem? Besides what's the problem with everybody else? But but besides us, because we're perfect. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, but we're maybe we're not perfect, but we're not that, whatever that is, it's happening, whatever
demons,
whatever,
not evil.
Yeah, whatever. And then you have to ask yourself, and then you got to go, well, who or what is the evil? Because there is no one person that you can really pin it on, and I use that phrase, a little bit, not loosely, but that's not exactly as accurate. But I think what I'm trying to say is how do we go about creating a better world if we don't make the space to imagine it?
And that is exactly what we do with Unity Through Creativity.
Yeah.
We make that space to imagine it. And, the concept of evil is really interesting. The Dene, who are also known as Navajo, have a trickster named Iktomi, and he tricks people into believing that they are separate from God.
Is that the demiurge too, or the demigod, or whatever, the demiurge? I think is similar. Is it similar?
I don't know about the demiurge.
The demiurge and the nomad. Like the nomad is. This is I can't even. You know what? Get back to me, because I thought that was Hindu, but.
Oh well, the same story appears all over the world because it's the truth.
Right? Yeah. Period. Yeah.
That we. When I said at the very beginning, your 5 things is this holistic approach. The division,
mm-hmm.
The trickster of that's saying we are not all interrelated. We are not interdependent. We are separate, and we are against, and we are attacked, and we need to protect ourselves, as you were saying. That's all, for me, the picture of evil. And my work is to combat that by look at what happens when you create together. We have physical proof that when we create together, there is something powerful and unique that happens. And every mural is unique and addresses the community's challenge. We don't come and impose anything.
That's right.
That's right. To support the imagery that wants to live in the genius of the group. And we never know what a mural is going to look like. We practice emergent wisdom. We're in the unknown together. So the facilitators, they have to be comfortable not knowing what is going to emerge and midwifing it. And then we have a celebration at the end with music and dance. And we're going to be having a show at the International Museum of Art in El Paso at the end of July and the beginning of August. The dates are firm, but you'll be able to see at least 13 different singing trees. And we'll be making a singing tree with the community through that month-long time.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yes.
So that's going to be open. Do people need to sign up for that?
No, I think people can just come.
They can just come and engage with the process.
Right. They're open. I think they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. But it'll be on unitythroughcreativity.org, right? Where they can find out about that. Oh, that's so cool. Right. Okay. Well, I will definitely participate in that as well. Okay. So let's go back. Okay. So number 2, what does... No, that's not what I want to ask. What made you decide to do this work?
My longing for a peaceful world, because I know it's more fun.
That period. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
And also, conflict is hard for me personally.
Me too.
So we teach what we need to learn. So I've been teaching about conflict resolution for 50 years, right? It's still, conversations is still hard, but when you have a framework and a way of speaking to each other, like using I sentences instead of you sentences, really embracing your experience of your body and sharing that. I don't want trillions of dollars going to frickin'
war
and missiles and planes.
Me neither.
I wanted to go to caring for the elders and caring for the sick and caring for the children. And
I love that.
Every family $100,000, and every person that raises a kid raises a kid getting a PhD, because it's like it's very important work. I want a world where children are prioritized and where we listen. And this whole project was started because I listened to a child. So yeah, that's
so true. I love that. That's such a great answer. And that's so true, because and what's really been coming up for me lately, Laurie, more than anything. Oh, and Noah said he's going to try to pull up to be there. So we would love that, Noah. And make sure you connect with Laurie on LinkedIn, and I'll make sure I make it happen too. But I'm just throwing it out there so that I don't forget and that we don't forget. But one of the things that's been coming up for me too is that it's not, I'm at the age now where I am like, it's my responsibility now, no matter whatever I feel about if I feel like it's a blank show that was left to us, that people just didn't care. And it was.
And we are leaving it to our grandchildren. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, and if I feel like that, which in a sense it was, and it's not until, like, it really is not ever too late until it's not over till it's over. No. So at what point does it become my responsibility? Because the generations before me, like when I think of my parents and their parents, I'm like, oh, their parents were even worse. I love them. They're still my family, and I still miss, my grandparents and everything. But it's not like they had an easier time. Honestly, if anyone has the privilege of information and of sovereignty, it's who is alive right now. Right. And that's all we have.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we're aware enough, then that creates it to be our responsibility. As soon as you're aware enough to know that there should be a better way, then it is up to you to fix it and to be the leader that no one else may be being, or whatever, if that's how you feel, then that means that you're supposed to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to my 8-year-old grandson, Oliver, about what a leader is. And he said, it's somebody that controls everything. And I said,
that's hilarious.
Because that's the picture that we get.
Well, and you know what's sad about that? That I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's the problem. Everyone's waiting for somebody else to control everything. But carry on.
It's a big daddy, right? We want the big daddy. We have to grow up, which means that we have to take responsibility, as you were saying. And here's a beautiful definition of leader that I told Oliver, because we had water going in the garage at the big thunderstorm, and he immediately figured out how to get rid of the water. And I said, a leader is somebody who does what needs to be done without being asked.
Woo! That's beautiful.
Right? And
that's a good one.
He got that. And I also said a leader was someone who helps everybody be their best.
I love both of those.
Yeah.
I really love both of those.
That's what we strive to do in when
a leader. Say that again. A leader is someone who does what needs to be done without being asked.
And a leader is, that's what coaches do too, right?
I love that. Was good.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That one deserves a scroll down.
Yes. So that was given to me by Meg Wheatley, who wrote a book called Leadership and the New Science. And she talks about, this is how we make.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to put that on there too.
Yeah.
Meg Wheatley?
Meg Wheatley.
Is she on LinkedIn?
Yeah. She's a giant of a leader. And this is how we do our singing tree murals. I got this idea from her. She said, all water has the same goal, which is to get to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
The Mississippi River doesn't tell the Colorado River how to do it because the local conditions determine the path. So when you're a really expert leader, like you have a really clear goal, you let people get to the goal the way they need to, and you have faith in them. So we have the really clear goal of making a mural in a short time.
Okay.
That's the goal, that where everybody's voice is represented. And then how it goes, wow, it's limitless. Let
it go how it goes. I love that too, because I think that is the difference too between a leader and a controller. I guess if if I got to say the difference, because a controller says, I want it done this way. So they really become a bottleneck in a lot of progress. Whereas a controller does it that way, but a leader says, let's all agree that this could be better. Or let's all agree that there's a problem that needs to be rectified, and let's agree to figure out how to solve it. Somebody has to be that person that puts some definition around, shines a light on a problem and puts some parameters around solving it. And then I like how you said the end date. That's a big part too. Like, let's solve it by here. Yeah. And I think a good leader is just someone who keeps people moving towards that.
Yeah.
And and hopefully you can help develop other leaders who can also take on that responsibility, like you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to do. We have a short time. Do you have another question before we go?
Oh yeah, I do. Let me see. How does why should healthcare, education, and leadership spaces take creativity more seriously?
Oh, that's a great question. First of all, the neurobiology of creating, as I mentioned in passing, is inherently healing. Because of what I said about
inherently.
You get to make a decision and take action, which is agency and freedom, and you do not harm anyone. You can do whatever you want. That freedom makes the human body relax.
It really does.
And then when you share what is in your heart, it builds trust. And you cannot accomplish great things without trust. It is fundamental. And so being able to accelerate trust by sharing your inner experience accelerates learning as well, because the safety, you can't create and not be vulnerable. If you are
that's so true
about like what other people think of you, you're not going to create anything.
Not anything. I mean, I hate to say you're not going to create anything, because I only say that because
you're not going to
sometimes people are going to
say you're not going to give you the gift that you have before you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reflection, Michelle.
Well, I only said that because people need to get into the act of, like you said, like get into the act of it before sometimes the act of it does open up that vulnerability. And
it absolutely does.
And I feel like if people think, well, if I can't open up, I may as well not do it. I wonder, I wonder if it's great to also point out that the process of it helps.
Beautiful. Right.
Facilitate that.
Yeah. Also, we are facing horrendously challenging problems. We have ecosystems that are unraveling. We have cultural and political systems that are unraveling. We have a modern system that is dependent on violence and unsustainability. We have to innovate.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Thank
we
you.
have to be in our creativity to invent solutions. The solutions are there. We need everybody's voice, the children, the adults, the elders. We need everybody's voice to solve like dead zones in the ocean and warming in the ocean and acid rain, and our whole beautiful planet is under
Attack.
the thing that sustains life is really fragile, and it is under attack. So feeding creativity so that every problem we're faced with has many, many solutions. That's how we're going to make it through.
It really is. But it now I don't know if Noah means this, but I don't know what he means by this, but I like this, what he's saying right here, because he's saying it won't be honest. And I think that is so important. That is, I don't know if you mean it like this, Noah, because how much time do you have? Are you in a rush to jump off? You got to run?
No, I'm
You
good.
have a couple of extra minutes. Okay. Yeah, I have a couple of extra minutes. I wanted to finish
such a
this
good conversation.
I know. I was like, I kind of don't want to stop. No, because I'm glad that Noah brought that up, because I think this is super important, especially to the work that you're doing, Laurie. And Noah, clarify if I'm in the wrong space here, but in the wrong way of thinking. But my thought of why he's saying it won't be honest is that when we're needing to address all these situations, how can we get people to get honest? I mean, that's a big question. I mean, is it going to be able to be solved in this question and answer session? Probably not. But it is my understanding that what you're presenting, Laurie, is saying that by working on these types of projects, when you bring something forth, you get more of you get more honesty.
Yeah. When we did the project with Casa Auto Group, with the 440 employees, we had, 25 sessions that were 2 hours, where employees would take time out of their day and they would make a leaf about heaven, because the goal of the Casa is to be like home, and home is like heaven. We ask people to make images of heaven on the leaves, and we ask people to make their dream for heaven, and we ask people to make stars for people who left. And every session, we all cried, because that's our shared humanity.
That is shared humanity.
That we lose our loved ones, and that we are vulnerable. We have skin that hurts when you pierce it. And so the transparency and vulnerability of, like, one young woman came to work, and her boyfriend had died on a motorcycle, and her grandfather, who she was really close to, died the same weekend, and she walked into work and nobody knew it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what happens. So our honesty, right, the vulnerability is absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And
so what Noah's saying, I'm just putting okay. So in the kind of order, he's saying that it won't be that the art won't be honest because of the vulnerability necessary. I think I'm understanding that. I think that that's part of the challenge. Is that okay? So to follow up with that, Laurie, just to wrap up these questions, and I think that goes with this question, when does creativity become healing instead of just an activity? It's when, and how are you able to get people to be open on a real level enough and vulnerable enough for it to be just an activity?
Yeah. So that is the practice of creating a safe container, using restorative practices, using circle practices, making agreements at the beginning of a project.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah. We need more of that in general. Just, I mean, in the workplace, like having clear agreements and clear,
aren't rules. They're not rules. They're what everyone needs to maximize their gifts.
That's right.
And so what we train people how to create a very scaffolded structure to build trust, and the creativity just flows. It just flows.
That's
every
fantastic.
time. Not one time has the creativity not flown in these 155 murals. And we want to train more people.
Yes. So that's what these are the things. This is what you're training people essentially, is how to make this more than just a creative endeavor, but to help it to become healing and conversational and engaging, and an opportunity to spark solution-based and outcome kind of based project, a creative project, to create that vulnerability in space. That I love that. That's fantastic. And then my last question for you is that how does art help people express? How can have these projects? Have you seen anything, or do you have a story, or even if you don't have a story, maybe just in general, of how artistic endeavor help people to have conversations and say things that they maybe normally wouldn't be able to talk about, or wouldn't know to talk about to resolve issues between interpersonal issues in organizations or communities?
Yeah, so that's a beautiful question. Again, we've been drawing for 70,000 years, and when we make an image, when we make our mark, it uses our right brain, which is different than our logical sequential left brain. It draws upon a picture that often we don't have words for yet. So what I've noticed is that people make a picture around the issue, like, what is your wish for autism? Or what does abundance look like to you? People that have been fighting over things. We did one with a dog, the animal services of El Paso, where people had been coming for 30 years and fighting each other and not talking to each other. And we did art together and they talked to each other. Because they got to see this inner beauty that we all have, and it softens us.
It does. It humanizes us, doesn't it?
It expands our view of these people that we only saw as enemies, because we have us versus them wiring very, very quick and deep, but we also have curiosity quick and deep. So when you enter the creative space, you have to be curious to see what's going to happen. And that curiosity is contagious.
Curiosity is contagious. And it's the good kind of contagion.
Because
consensus.
Oh, yes, and consent. Yes, and consent.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. Curiosity is contagious. And it's a great way to open conversations. And I think that, I love the work that you're doing, because when you're working with organizations or with people who are creating the spaces for people to come together to solve problems, then a lot of times people just need to know that they're not going to get in trouble for speaking their mind. And what better way, because you can talk, but to draw something, you feel like you can't really go wrong. Unless you're, you can't really go wrong unless you're, drawing Dexter style, like some weird, some weird, like serial killer stuff or something. If you draw something dark or something, but and there might be room for dark sometimes, if you're, so that's a healthy way to
absolutely
to have a conversation and to say what's on your mind. That's the beautiful, healthy way through visual art. So thank you so much, Laurie. So before you go, if you could just one more time let people know what your I think this is the conversation we want to have. Who would you like to invite to your website and to your events that you have coming up? Let us know what you have coming up. And yes, let's start there.
So I want to invite the whole world to make a painting together. and every community to explore the possibility of envisioning the world you want, because the more pictures of the world we want, the closer and possible it's going to be to create it. I am looking for people who would like to be facilitators and who would like to train other facilitators. You don't have to be an artist. You can always partner with an artist to do this facilitation. Art educators are fantastic, in a fantastic position to be the peace leader of their school, of their organizations. HR people that want to bring in a very innovative kind of team building are most welcome. We worked with a Japanese company called Asbiel that does robotics, that just won a Southeast Asian award for its support of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. One of their people who took the training said that no one had ever asked her what her thoughts were. Wow. So we want to unleash the great creativity and thinking power of human beings. And we have a training coming up July 24th through 26th that's online and hybrid. It costs $500. We ask people to pay as you are led, which is a Quaker concept. It costs us that amount, and whatever you're led to pay, we love. We don't do hard capitalism. We do what works for people.
Okay.
And we're having a museum exhibition at the International Museum of Art in El Paso towards the end of August, beginning of September. And we're so excited to have a coloring book for that, and puzzles, singing tree puzzles and posters. And we're just celebrating what people can do together.
I love that. This is fantastic. Let me see here. I'm trying to pull up here. Okay. Now you said that's going to be July 24th
through 26th.
Through the 26th. Okay. I think I can actually just show that real quick.
For that as well.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull it in just real quick here, just so I could show people. Wait, actually, hold on. Let me stop screen. Okay, there. Okay, sure. Okay. Let me just show this real quick. Is it this one? Okay. Okay. This is the team building right here. Perfect. So so look, everybody, this is the information. You can go to unitythroughcreativity.org, and you just go to certification up tab, and it will show you all the information that you need to see. And of course, you can contact Laurie, directly if you have any direct questions, or concerns before, or as you look through the information.
Yeah, my email is Laurie, Laurie, at unitythroughcreativity.org.
Did I say .com?
No, you said.
Oh, okay.
I just give you my email.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. Say that again, because I think I cut you off.
Laurie, Laurie, at unitythroughcreativity.org.
Yes. Okay. Fantastic.
Spread this goodness around.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
Jesus said, "A child shall lead them," and Meredith Miller has led and changed my life.
Oh my goodness, this has been such a fantastic conversation, Laurie. Thank you so much. Thank you. Big hugs and kisses.
I just want to say one last thing.
Oh yes.
That we make the beloved community that Martin Luther King envisioned, one mural at a time.
Okay. One mural at a time, and we bring them together.
Yeah.
What a gift. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Laurie. And everyone, make sure that, if this conversation interests you, be sure to like, share, subscribe, stick around, follow me, and make sure we're connected on LinkedIn, Facebook, and or YouTube, whatever platform you prefer. We are here, 5-Star Conversations, to elevate the voice of healthcare and wellness in the Borderland and amplify the voices of those who are doing great work here, so that we can all benefit from rising and shining and continuing to do so. So thank you so much, Laurie, for your time today.
My joy.
Thank you. And everybody else, you have a great day. Okay. And stay tuned and tune in.
Bye.